Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu and I'm bringing out this video of me playing a board game, or talking about a board game, and let me go and start the music before I forget, so I don't forget my music in the background. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about, we're doing a discussion and a unboxing of Final Girl Season 2. So, the reason I wanted to do a discussion first is because this is a game that I have cooled on greatly, me personally, but I still think it has a good foundation in general, so I'm probably just going to house rule a bunch of stuff and eventually figure it out. But for right now, I do have Season 2 because I already had it ordered. I ordered it secondhand from a second chance Kickstarter, if you will, and it just came in. So we're gonna go ahead and first, I'm gonna discuss some of the things on Final Girl first, and then I'm gonna do the unboxing. So if you want to see just the unboxing and just me opening up all the stuff, feel free to skip to the proper section. I'll have it timed out in timeline and time codes. But we're gonna try to keep this not too long of a video, at least with this discussion part, because I've already discussed a lot of this. Like I have at least 16 hours worth of Final Girl content on my channel. Actually, sorry, at least 12 hours of Final Girl content. But the first thing, just a background for me, I've played through Final Girl. I played through campaigns 1 and 2, specifically using the scenario book. And I played through Hans and Poltergeist. And I've also played a few rounds of Carnival of Blood and a few rounds of the Birds. And I think I played one versus Dr. Fright off camera, but the whole point of this, point of me saying that is, like, I've played the game, and for those that don't know the scenarios, there's 5 scenarios for each one. So I played these at least 5 times a piece. What actually happened in real life is that I recorded one series, played a rule wrong the entire series, so I made it through 10 playthroughs between these two for the scenario book, and then I had to re-record the whole thing, and I decided to do it live. So technically, I've done these 10 times a piece from the scenario books, which was can basically kind of grind somebody down as far as the enthusiasm for a game. So I understand how that could be a part of the bias that I have towards this game, or maybe that might be biasing some of my perspectives on the game. But the main thing is that I feel that this game has too many sources of random. I'm just going to start right out the back just saying that. And I also feel that there's the cascading failure situation that this game has kind of turns me off as like a mechanic. I'm not a huge fan of cascading failure, and this game does not shy away from that. It's cool that it leans into it, but also I just kind of wish it didn't. And then finally, this game, I feel more because of the cascading failure situation, it morphs between a 1-player game and a 0-player game. So if you just want to watch a game play itself, or just want to see a cool story play out, this game is definitely up your alley. I like a little bit more interactivity in my agency, I should say, in my games, as opposed to just kind of being stuck on the Rube Goldberg machine and just watching it go. So as a result of that, like, this game kind of falls out of grace for me for those reasons. And I talked about this a few times in a few other videos and all this stuff. And I know that there's a lot of people who are huge fans of this game. And there's a lot of people who are like, this game's the best game ever. And I vehemently disagree. I do not think this game's the best game ever. Also, I know that some people who came from Hostage Negotiator, the game that came before this, came into Final Girl and were surprised about how much, more like thematic and how much more forgiving it was, and that tells me that I should never play Hostage Negotiator. That's what that tells me. So take that how you will. So the reason why I'm kind of starting off with the negatives is just like let you guys know that I do have a not so bright opinion of this game in general. That said, it will stay in my collection. If I had a list of games that were ready to go out of my collection, this will be on the last, this will be the last on the list of games to go, because I think it looks cool on my shelves. I mean, like, it looks like VHS cases, and with Season 1 and Season 2, it's going to be nice. And then maybe one day I'll sit down and continue to theory craft to actually make the game better for myself. Also, another thing to move on to, just some background stuff. So because this is a 1-player game, this 1-player game means that I'm the only one playing it, so I can kind of make the rules and change the rules and adjust the rules however I want. So because of that, and I acknowledge that, I've actually made a few mods that I've played, or that I've used to play, and I will not play this game without those mods that I've made. 1, I'm biased towards mods, and then 2, they make the game a little bit more enjoyable for me. I'm figuring that one day I'll be able to mod it just enough to, like, keep the spirit of the game, but make it towards bearable for me, or more bearable for me. And now those mods, I mean, they're not anything major. Like, one mod in particular is just regarding just a stats table, a stat sheet like we're looking at here. Just basically tell you if you're rolling, if you're aiming to get a certain dice roll, these are your percentage chances. This is a very simple, straightforward lookup table with combinations and iterations and all that stuff. So not really much to say on that one. The other mod that was a little bit more of a major mod was the Queens of Horror deck. So in this game, you're rolling a bunch of dice. So the Queens of Horror deck that I created allows, that's Queens of Horror, the Queens of Horror deck. What that allows you to, or how I implement it is I allow myself to get another source of numbers like another authoritative source. So instead of just rolling dice and then dealing with that, I also have the option to flip a card instead. Or I can do a combination of flip a card or roll dice. That made it more fun for me because I felt like I had more choice on the front end of like, okay, do I risk it with the deck? Because I can count cards and I know the deck hasn't shuffled yet. So I can count cards and kind of have a generic idea of what the stats are, push my luck there. Or just go with the dice and see what the dice say, because the dice do not have memory. As in, if I draw a 6 from the deck of cards, I know there's one less 6 inside of the deck. Whereas if I roll a 6, then there's 100%, or it's not impossible for me to roll a 6 again on the same die, is what I'm trying to say. So the Queens of Horror deck was one that I felt helped me out a lot as far as me enjoying the game. And then finally, the tenacity counters, my favorite one so far. I feel like the tenacity counter, if anything, please, Van Ryder Games, please adopt the tenacity counters in some way, shape, or form. I have not seen fully what the Season 2 stuff does yet, so maybe there is a version of that, I'm not sure. But the tenacity counters, essentially anytime you roll a 1 or a 2, depending on what difficulty level, because you can scale it, you can adjust the difficulty level. And also, as a side note, all of these mods are listed in the description if you want to actually see them yourselves and read about them and maybe implement them in your own games if you have Final Girl. So go check those out. But the tenacity counter is essentially, if you roll a 1 or a 2, then the tenacity counter is incremented. And once you get 5 tenacity, once it increments 5 times, then you basically get a free star. You get a free auto success to use at any time during one of your skill checks. And it's a system that just makes sense, because like in a game to where catastrophic failure is a thing, I feel like there needs to be some kind of, it's not much, but it makes you feel a little bit better about rolling a 1 or 2, whereas a 1 or 2 gives you absolutely nothing. And I know in Hostage Negotiator, a 1, 2, or 3, actually no, I think it was a 1, 2, yeah, I think it was a 1, 2, or 3 gave you absolutely nothing. I think a 4 gave you, oh no, it actually might have been 1, 2, 3, or 4. Anyway, at any rate, my point being, those mods helped me enjoy the game a lot, and the tenacity counters, I love that mod a lot. I mean, I created it, so of course I'm gonna enjoy it. Queens of Horror deck is my other favorite, and then the stat sheet is nice to be able to puzzle out, can I do this or do that? Okay, all right. Also, and I do want to acknowledge a very important note is that a lot of those things are not just me saying I want to win the game. Just to clarify, I would like to win the game that I'm playing, that I'm sitting down, setting up and playing, one player. It would be nice to win, but I also understand that not every game is going to be winnable. I also understand that I don't have to win every game to enjoy myself, and this is not about just me getting the victory count or having a winning streak, because if I could just win the game every single time, then I would just stop playing it. That's kind of how I feel about a game like Warp's Edge, which is I feel like every time I play the game, I'm going to win. So sometimes it's like, do I really want to set this up and play it? Meh. Whereas in this game, I feel like it has the exact opposite problem. Every time I play this game, I feel like it's going to just continue to just pile on me and make me have the worst possible time. So some kind of striking balance between those two would be nice, and maybe I'll figure out for Final Girl. But the reason why I'm acknowledging that point is because I think some people assume that the criticisms and critiques that I might have on the game are basically because I'm sad about winning or upset about not winning. And this has nothing to do with winning. This is more so about, I feel like there's too many sources of random to even be able to begin to give enough agency to the player, or me specifically, I should say. I don't want to speak for anybody else but myself. And that kind of hurts the game as far as my willingness to actually sit down and play it. Now, for everybody else, like for one of my friends, he absolutely loves this game. He wanted to buy this copy off of me, and I told him, no, go buy your own. So he's buying his own copy now. And he loves like cascading failures. He loves like situations where like he tells a really good story, and he liked what this game offered. So he's on the he's in the, I guess, majority that likes this game. I guess I'm in the minority on that one, but yeah, you take that how you will. Okay, cool. All right, so that's kind of all the background stuff. Oh, praises. Sorry, I went to end with praises before we moved on, so it just makes this 10 minutes flat. So the praises for this game is that modularity. I do love the modularity of the system. This is a lot of combinations. I think if we did the math, this is about, oh man, I think it's 5 factorial will be the number. I don't know, don't quote me on that. But there's a lot of different combinations between, because you can have a killer, or every game you have a killer, a location, and a final girl. I don't think the final girls are enough to make it different, so I'm just going to count the killers and the location. So you have, I think it's 2 5 factorial, or 2 to the 5th power, or is it 5 to the 2 power? It's probably 2 to the 5th power. Okay, yeah, I don't remember my mathematics, but because of that, you have a lot of different things. Oh, also, sorry, I forgot, there's another villain here. So it's actually 2 to the 6th power, maybe? I don't know if it works that way exactly, but there's a lot of different combinations you can have, a lot of different experiences you can have. You can have a game that's pretty difficult. Like, I would argue that Inkenyamba by far is one of the hardest killers to fight, because you just have to manage his killer's wrath track, and it just gives us so much burst, if you will, as far as how hard he can hit. Whereas Hans is by far the easiest, and when I say easiest, I don't mean like he's going to be a pushover, like, because Hans has the ability to hit you 3 times, and for context, you have 3 guard cards in this game, and you can only use them every other turn, effectively. So if Hans hits you 3 times twice in a row, as in one round he hits you 3 times, the other round he hits you 3 times, you're a goner, unless you have health for it. But I'm just saying that the Hans is kind of a little bit more predictable, a little more standard, and it's like a little bit more recommended. I would actually recommend this game in this order. If you're wondering which ones do I buy, I would highly recommend Camp Happy Trail, the first one, and then Poltergeist. Actually, I would argue these two can be interchanged. I kind of like Maple Lane better, but I think Creech Manor is a little bit fun too. So Creech Manor might be the second one, this is the third one, Carnival Blood, the fourth one, and Sacred Groves Avoid, I think is a broken mess in my opinion, but that's just me. Alright. So yeah, so also it tells a cool story, and also the kills are very unique, so there's a lot of things to love about this game. Okay, cool. Alright, enough of that. So that was 11 whole minutes of me talking about just kind of giving a summary of all my reviews of all my videos of this game. If you want to check out some of my playthroughs, go check out my playthroughs so you can see how I did, especially with the campaigns, but let's go ahead and open up the box. So in this box we have, and once again I got this from the Game Steward, and from the Game Steward, because I didn't know about the Kickstarter until it was too late, so I was able to order through Game Steward, so they finally delivered on that, and by finally I mean it showed up, because there was an email that was in my inbox for 2 weeks that I didn't notice. It's my own fault. But this game showed up, and I bought an extra core box, so I could let my friend play with this. Actually, he already has it. That's not the point. At the time, it was a good idea to get an extra core box. So I got an extra core box. I had the lore and scenario books for season 1 again, so I can let my friend use that for his stuff that he has. And then I also got all of these scenarios, all the ones for season 2. So I have Terror at Station 2891, Into the Void, Madness in the Dark, Once Upon a Full Moon, and A Knock at the Door, and also Terror from the Grave. I got the vignette expansion as well. The one I'm most excited about, to be honest, is Once Upon a Full Moon. That one looks cool, and I'm hoping that it'll play cool. I'm hoping that'll be fun to play. The one that I'm not looking forward to at all is probably, I think a Knock on the Door. A Knock on the Door seems like it's going to be annoying, because you have to deal with 3 different killers, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I guess Terror Station 2891 might be also problematic, but I already have not that high of an opinion of the game anyway, so let's be honest here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get all this out of the way. Bubble wrap. I do not have a knife. We will use pliers because I do not have a knife. There we go. That works, right? Effective. Now the funny thing is I can only do this video once, so that means I cannot do any retakes. For context, for those who are watching, there have been many times where I've recorded a single video 3 times because I messed up. So here we have first Terror from the Grave. Terror from the Grave is a vignette expansion for Final Girl. All I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the stuff, look at the things, and then put it to the side. I'm not going to spend time analyzing everything. Although I will spend a little bit more time on Once Upon a Full Moon, because like I said, I'm interested in that one. Alright, so in this one we get a deck of cards. There's the zombies. This one has a bunch of zombies. They have a higher terror track, which I'm already a fan of. That's an improvement. I don't know how much of an improvement. For those who don't know, Terror from Above, that's my arch nemesis. I promise you it is. But the Terror from Above has a terror track that goes up to 4 steps. And it's very easy for that one to cascade out of control. Oh, there's more than 4 steps. Oh, it's even better. Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh no, that means that might be a lot more evil. I don't know. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps. So it's double the steps from the birds. We'll see if that's all cool. Hey look, we got Patsy. So that's the final girl that's inside of this one. Patsy. And her special ability is once per action phase, you may spend 2 time to deal damage to an enemy in your space. The killer cannot lose its final health as a result of this effect. That's a pretty cool one. I like that one. Then we got, you know, zombie tokens and some other stuff, triple zombie stuff and moon stuff. I don't know what all that's about. Alright, moving on. I'm trying to spend like 2 minutes or less with each one, since we got a lot to go through. Alright, let's see what else I got here. There's the lore book. Nice fresh copy of the lore book. I wonder if this is the right size. Nope, I don't think this is the right size. So I think the lore books were printed in a way that was bigger. Or actually, no, maybe it's the scenario books. No, I think it's the lore books. Yeah, the lore books were printed taller than some of the other books. So I think there was one round of printing for the lore books that they were printed correctly, like this. Because these fit in the box. These fit in these boxes pretty easily. But because the lore scenario book is printed taller, it doesn't fit in the box, and it's like a little annoying. So they recommend that you store it inside of the, if you have the expansion, or if you have the box that the game comes with, they recommend that you store it inside of one of the extras boxes, or inside of the box with the mat, which I'm not a fan of the gaming mat, because, mainly because of how I live stream. Think, oh my gosh, alright, let me just pull this out. Oh gosh, it's like a chunk of stuff. Alright, boxes out of the way. Alright. So the first one that we see this is Terror 1988, or no, this is Wolf Asylum. Is that on the list? Oh, that's the name, right? The name is Ratchet Lady? I didn't see that one. Huh. Did I rename these? Oh, there's Madness in the Dark. Okay, got it. Alright, this is Madness in the Dark. Alright, not one that I'm like super keen on. And maybe like a knife or some cutting implement. Alright, let me go grab my knife. I'll be right back. Alright, I have my trusty Stanley knife, making its first appearance in a video. Let's do this without breaking stuff. Alright, so let's see what this one has inside of it. Oh, let me get everything out of the packaging first, and then I'll open up these. So this is the core box. I don't really need to open this one. I'll just keep this one to the side. Put it over there. And then we have the one that I'm most excited about, which we'll save for last, because I'm most excited about it. It's the Once Upon a Full Moon. Just put these here. Then, oh no, we're gonna go left to right. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Well, no, we're not. Because we're gonna take out this piece. This one's Into the Void. I'm kind of interested in seeing how this one plays out. This one might be cool. We'll see. So I guess I'll keep that one next to last. The Organism, which is Panic at Station 2861. I'm kind of ambivalent about that one. The one that I'm most not looking forward to, this one, is A Knock on the Door. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh no, I put the box up here. Okay, I see. A Knock at the Door, right there. And yeah, so that's it. So I put that there so the camera doesn't freak out too much. So let's go and start with the first one that we're looking at. This one's Madness in the Dark. And I mentioned that, I don't think I mentioned, oh, I think I mentioned this one might be annoying. Whichever one has the 3 people, which I think is A Knock at the Door. So it's the Intruders. I'm not looking forward to that one. So we have our little sheet here. This one says, remain calm at Wolf Asylum. See, they've got the Ratchet Lady and stuff going on. And then open that up. There's the Ratchet Lady. The Ratchet Lady has no upper health value. Uh-oh. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. So she does... I don't know if she's the Hans. Oh no, she's... maybe there is no Hans equivalent in the first, or in series 2. Because I was gonna say, because if she has not many rules, then she's probably the Hans. But looks like that. So we got some cards. We got the secret card down here, which I'll probably open up anyway. We got red meeples, which that's interesting. Okay. So I'm not gonna open everything. I'm basically gonna take all the plastic off the stuff, really. This one's the Wolf Asylum. Let's see. This one has some special rules. So it has pills and side effects and amped cards. And then let's see. I don't want to spoil it for myself because it's more fun that way. But we got our tarot cards here. Oh, amped. Oh, these are the amp cards. Okay, cool. Ah. I gotta sleeve these. because I sleeved all my cards. I actually want to change my sleeves. And then we got, what is this? Side effects. I don't like those. Setup. Items. And then events. Cool. So, I don't know how you are on spoilers, but I would rather not spoil it. Yes, I may not play this game all that much, but I'm not gonna just fan them all out and spoil it for everybody, just in case you don't want to see spoilers. Oh, look, we got another one. This is for, oh, I gotta find the final girls. They should be in here, right? No, where are they? Are they with the killer? I guess they're with the killer. Alright, let me get the final girls. I'll get the final girls out. Alright. Oh no, there's another card. This is... There they are. This is Veronica and Heather. Okay. Alright, we got our motion here, so I'm gonna open up the box, look at the stuff, take out the final girls, and then pass the box along. Oh, actually, I need to take these anyway. And put these in the core box, so we can have them all in one spot. Alright, so there we go. So that's the first one. Put that over there, show it's done. Oh no, camera's freaking out. Sorry, I don't know if the camera's freaking out the whole time. My apologies if it was. Alright. Next one is going to be the Intruders for a knock at the door. This is the one I think I said I was going to be probably the most annoyed at, the most not looking forward to playing. Because it's 3 killers. I mean, Geppetto, like in hindsight, I know I mentioned before Inkenyaba is pretty rough, but I think Geppetto is arguably worse because any damage you've just been doing to the minions, you're not doing to Geppetto. I think Inkenyaba has some healing in there though, so that might make it a little bit more annoying, but still. Anytime you gotta split damage between multiple enemies is always a trap. It's always better, unless there's ability says otherwise, it's always better to just take down one at a time. An enemy with 1 HP is capable of doing 100% damage, unless there's something that says otherwise. Alright, this one's lock at the door, a Wingard Cottage. Or lock the doors at Wingard Cottage. Got some stuff going on, little symbol and stuff. Okay, cool. Put that to the side. You can see it on the internet. So open up this, we got the Intruders. So it looks like it's they start with a horde level 3, 6 per killer. So it's 3 killers, so you have to fight 18 health. That's neat. That's gonna be fun to track if I ever do a playthrough of this one. They got some rules here. Additional rules with clarifications of panics and active killer example. Alright. Oh, they got a little token that passes along. Cool. Alright, let's get let's see, meeples. So 2 extras in addition to the killer one that you get in the box normally. So we have the tarot cards, we have this one. It says all killers strike whoever is at their space, and then we got the bottom halves, which we'll save for later. And here's our little killer token plus our extra +1 HP for the final health. We have Ava and we have Ginny. Let's see, what do they do? Ava, when making a horror roll, you may re-roll all 1 results. I like that one. I like that. Actually, Ava just became my favorite final girl. Ginny, choose 2 of the following to apply to all results when resolving that action for the remainder of the game. Move +1 space for resolving walk, +1 health when I like this one too. This is a pretty nice one. This one's a +1 horror level reduction when resolving focus, +1 damage when resolving weak attack, and then +1 health when resolving short rest. So basically it makes all the base cards better. I like that. I actually just might implement that in general. Like at a certain point, maybe you can do a certain thing to do that. Mechanically speaking, that's neat. I'm a little sad it's tied to one specific character, but both of those powers are pretty cool. Alright, here's the other side for Wingard Cottage. This location has some special rules. So this, I mean, it doesn't seem to have as many special rules as Wolf Asylum did. Although, to be fair, Wolf Asylum, I think, only has special rules regarding the pills and amp cards and side effects. So maybe the Intruders is a little bit simpler. I don't know. Oh, I opened up this too. Yeah, I should have taken those out, because I'm gonna put those in the main box anyway. So supply item, setup item, events, and then craft. Ooh, crafted item. There's crafting. There's crafting. That's cool. We got some tokens here. I don't know what they do. Looks like a snare trap and a scooter. Some sunlight and some nail beds. That looks terrifying. Oh, put this back in there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Wait, where are these? Yeah, this is the location. These are just tarot cards. I have all the structure for this video, I promise. I promise. Oh, we gotta look at the location. Looks neat. I like it. It's kind of like a mix of Creech Manor plus Camp Happy Trails. Maybe it's like a nice mid between the two, because you have like the whole lake situation and lakefront and everything. I don't know. Neat. But yeah, there's Ava and Jenny. Now, I don't think I read the rest of the powers for the other two. So Veronica, her special power is for the rest of the game, you reset the time to 7 at the end of your planning phase. 6. If playing an extreme horror, 6 if you're playing extreme horror mode, so you get +1 at the end of your planning phase. And then for Heather, it says when attacking, for each 5 or 6 on your initial horror roll, you may reroll one other die. Add damage to your attack for each star in the final result. So it's just a better version of not Lucy. What is her name? I forgot her name. It's a better version of Laura, or whatever her name was. The one that you play with Camp Happy Trails, I forgot her name. Actually, does it tell us on the thing? No, I don't think it does. I think Lucy was the name of her girlfriend, so maybe it's not Lucy. Okay, well, let me get these out of here. Also, I do want to note that I do like the art style of this game. I do think it looks the part. I wouldn't dare say it's a pretty game, and by that I mean the art styles are a little bit different. So it's like, for instance, the art style in this one I'm much more of a fan of. This is very similar to the art style that we had on this one for Maple Lane. So I'm a huge fan of this kind of comic book, like cel shaded art style. Whereas the other art styles kind of vary between the ones, like, you know, especially this one. Like I'm not a fan of, at least not a fan of the design of the enemy there. Like, it looks kind of goofy, but I'm you know, I appreciate the fact that they have so many different art styles and so many different art approaches. I'd be interested. Well, I should probably check to see if there's different artists for each one, because there probably is. Or maybe there's just one artist team that's putting all the art together. I don't know. All cool stuff. Looks like it might be different artists for each scenario. So this one here is the station, or sorry, Panic at Station 2891. And let's see. So can you trust anyone at Station 21 or 2891? This one says you don't know who you can trust when playing against this one to see. Oh no, we have to do like a hide and seek. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Hopefully it's nowhere near the same level as Poltergeist was, because it was neat, like a little capture the flag situation. You have to like find a certain thing and get out. It was also really annoying. So there's like a fancy specialized little container here. Neat. All right, the Organism. It says has 2 pages of rules. This one seems a little bit involved. 2 sets of rules. Looks like we got some examples. Ah, they have examples. They have examples. Van Ryder Games. I don't know if y'all. Well, you guys probably didn't listen to me because this came out before I even knew about. Season 2 was already done before I even knew about Final Girl. But yeah, examples are always appreciated. Thank you for having examples. Examples help clarify rules. It's like, yes, it costs 1 extra sheet, maybe like half a sheet, but people who play your games will appreciate it. Oh, this is This is terrifying. There's 3 of these, and they're blank. And there's like a track here, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh, because it's... Oh, because you can have different organisms? Oh, that's cool. Terrifying, but cool. So these are... So is it... Oh, I see. So maybe it's a situation to where the people... They start off as people, like that. And then as things happen, they turn into organisms. And then once they turn into organisms, then you get their thing. I don't know if that's how that goes, but... Also, do they share a track? I hope they don't share a track, because that's going to be annoying. I don't know. And they can have 3 minor dark powers? Nice. Okay. Alright, enough gawking at that one. We got the final girls here. Or final woman, I should say. There's 3 of these. I don't know what those are. Sure. There's a test kit. There's test results. Okay, so it seems like a Carolyn situation to where you got to go through this search through the deck to find certain things, and then once you find those certain things, then you'll be able to get there. Also, this is like a scanner or something. I don't know what this is, but it has the colors on there, so I'm assuming there's some hide and seek, some extra mechanics. But yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, this seems like a Carolyn situation to where you have to search through the item decks to find where Carolyn was. I'm not the biggest fan of that kind of mechanic. Like, it's nice that it changes up the game, but it's also kind of annoying to deal with. This was we'll read those in a second. Put this away. Okay. And then this is the actual location itself. So station 2891, looks like there's an outdoor component. Okay, no one-way nonsense, which is pretty cool, but there's an outdoor component. This is an exit over here. There's only 1 exit? Ah, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. There's only 1 exit. This is the killer sheet. This is the location. The location sheet seems to be pretty straightforward. I mean, there's frostbite, so it's like a little bit of special rule. We got helicopter. So it seems like we got the helicopters returning from the Creech Manor location, so that's pretty nice. I don't know how that works, but we'll see in the future. Oh, look, there's a doggo! There's a doggo! Look at him! Look at him! Alright, so let's see. Arctic Airport. Oh, there's another location. Oh, this is the helicopter. Okay, cool. Wait, is there like 2 steps to get people out? Oh, I was on the action card. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about this one, y'all. I don't know about this one, y'all. There's an extra path that you can have. Where does this go? Looks like this can go here. Nope. There. So you can put this here. Break a hole through the wall. I mean, I guess. I know, frostbite tokens, status tokens like that. I'm hoping the frostbite is not a situation to where it makes you move slower, because like movement is already difficult in this game. So to make it more difficult, I think it's a fallacy, which is why Creech Manor becomes like a unforgiving nightmare sometimes, because it's just like you can only move 1 space at a time. It's like, oh my gosh. All right, so we have an action card, which is helicopter. So you can move the helicopter twice. So probably that card that we looked at, the helicopter card is probably like you move the helicopter across. And then you drop them off, and you have to move back or something, because there's an action card for it. So, I don't know. Seems cool. I should probably read the rules if I want to know how it works. Oh, you know what? That means that there's a helicopter mini, isn't there? Ooh, that's cool. Okay. Well, and then we will read the information for the 2 final girls from this one. Am I missing somebody? I'm missing somebody. Oh, I see. I put Maple Lane over there. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, so we have Katie. So Katie has 7 health, which is nice. Your maximum health is now 7. Oh, wow. Her maximum health goes from 4 to 7. Ooh, that's a lot. Holy crap. Your maximum health is now 7. Immediately recover all health.
While at full health, you roll +1 for your horror rolls. Oh, nice. And then for each additional victim save, receive 2 health. I like that ability. That's a really cool power. Yuki, once per turn, you may play a copy of the guard card as though it was in your hand. Oh, that's even better. Yes, okay. So I feel like Yuki is the best person to go against Hans now. Because one of the things I was talking about before, and I don't know if you skipped over the previous part, but just went straight to the unboxing. But one of the things with Hans has the ability to attack 3 times. That probably tells me that maybe there's another multi-attack situation inside of the Organism. May make sense because there's 3 of them, potentially. And also for the Intruders, so there's a lot of multi-attacks involved. So having the ability to have just like a free guard you can play every turn, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. So Yuki's power, all these powers sound like heads and shoulders above the powers on the Season 1, let me tell you. Season 1 powers were a little bit underwhelming. I think my favorite power, which turned out to be not the biggest deal depending on who you're fighting against, was I think it's Kiyoki or Kirio. Oh no, Rico. I think Rico's how you pronounce it, but I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But Rico's power basically allows you to if you're within 2 spaces of the killer, you can teleport to them, and that's good for fighting. But the problem with Final Girl Season 1 was that Poltergeist you did not fight. I think that ability triggered on killers, so for Geppetto it was kind of useless. And then for Inkinyaba, a lot of times you don't really want to be next to Inkinyaba because you just hit so fast and so hard, and so many times. So having her ability was kind of a waste. There's another Final Girl whose her ability was I think it was Sheila, which is that's Sheila. So for Sheila, her ability was that once you flip her, whenever you discard a card from your hand, you get 2 times instead of 1. And it's like, that's a good ability, but it's also kind of like, I don't know. This is like, I feel like I'm giving up a lot. So far these powers seem like we're getting a good bit of reward for finishing them. Also, another thing to note, Carnival Blood, there was one, I think it was, I forgot her name. It starts with an A. I think it starts with an A. Whatever her name is. For her ability, she has the ability to ignore traps, which is great for Carnival Blood, but that's it. So she became a very situational character. So I think in Season 1 there's a problem of the characters were too specific to the scenarios. These abilities so far sound very generic, and like, you can use them across the board, to the point where I would make the argument that if I were to play Final Girl again, what I would probably do is choose one of these Final Girls, get their power, and then play the rest of the game. Just like flat out get the power. Because this helps counter some of that that randomness that you have, chaos if you will, in the game. Some people might say that's easy mode, maybe that's a little bit too powerful, I don't know. But if I were to play again solo, I might consider trying it out and see if it makes the game more enjoyable for me specifically. If it makes it enjoyable for you, go ahead and try it out yourself. Alright, so this one's Final Girl, the Evomorph. This one is the Into the Void. This one I'm interested in because I think there's like multiple aliens. I mean, this is aliens, so you can have like little baby aliens come out and like you can kind of play out the movie of Aliens, which is pretty neat. And also this track looks pretty hefty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps. So I think Hans has 10 steps. And the shortest track is Poltergeist with 6 steps. Let me check. I think the Poltergeist has 8 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And, no. I think Inkinyaba has a shorter track. I think Inkinyaba is 7 steps. The number of steps that you have are kind of important because they'll let you know how much time you have to kind of do stuff before you need to start fighting the killer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, he has 8 as well. Okay, no. Alright, never mind. I guess with Killer's Wrath, it just seems like he has such a short track. But yeah, but 10 steps are pretty nice. It gives you a little bit of time to do stuff. This one has 2 pages for Evomorph. There are the finale cards, the Final Girls, a lot of special rules here. Scanning, vanishing, ambush, evolution. Oh, that's a cool picture. I like that picture. That's a nice picture. They have like a nice little background for like a cell phone or something. I like that picture. Cool. Neat. All right. And let's see, we got an extra meeple. Oh, we got a little token here, little green token. Oh, there's a nice chunk of cards here. Oof. Oh, okay. Right, because it's a killer. And ambush youngling, adult. Okay. All right. Oh no, we have more action cards. These are eggs. This one is a scan. Oh, eggs is a symbol. This is for scan. Place Evomorph in your space. Skip the next killer phase. Remove this card from the game. It costs 1 time, so I guess it still costs 1 time though, and it goes out of the game forever. Then it says place an X in your space. Reduce the horror level, and then place an X in your space. Lose 1 time. Okay, so you have to locate the killer is what it sounds like. Once again, another like hide and seek mechanic. I'm not sure if I'll be a fan of that, because time is precious in this game. I guess it also depends on the level. I mean, you can play this enemy on any location, so it'll be interesting to see how the Evomorph plays at some place like Carnival of Blood or Camp Happy Trails. You know, you scan and he shows up. Oh, I didn't get the final girls out. My bad. Are they in here? Okay. No, they're not in here. They're in the location side. Oh no, oh, there you are. Okay, never mind. Allied. They are here. There's only 1 final girl? Oh, there she is. They were mixed in. But say I feel gypped. There's gotta be 2 final girls. How will I know? How will I know who the final girl is? There's not more than 1. So we have Jeanette, and we have Ellen. It's cool. Look at those here shortly. I am a fan of this box system, by the way. Like original was kind of annoyed. It's kind of stupid, but it works. It's sensible once you're used to it. This one is the USS Conrad. There's a picture of the Evomorph killing somebody. Oh, here's the location. So I'm assuming some of these paths are for the killer only. It's like these little things going through here, or maybe I don't know. Yeah, it would help if I just read the rule sheet, huh? Looks like we have maintenance paths. There are 4 maintenance shafts on the board, so these are maintenance shafts. With an empty keycard token connected to it, neither you nor the victim can pass these shafts. Okay, so you can activate them to get extra paths. Okay, cool. I like the idea, like having extra paths. Maybe something like this in Creech Manor would have been nice. Something like you can make the attic, the one-way direction stuff less annoying. Cool. Moving on. So we're not here to analyze everything. Self-destruct. Self-destruct. Alright, there's a tarot card. There's our maintenance cards. Okay. Then down here we have the setup items, events, pretty much standard stuff down there, and some tokens. Ooh. There's a mech. There's a mech. Oh no, it's not a mech. Is that a mech? Looks like a maintenance robot. I hope that's a mech. If that's a mech, I'll be very happy. There's some keycard tokens down there too. Okay. Those back in there. Alright. And then we'll read the powers for the final girls. So, Ellen's ability is when successfully resolving a search action, you may choose to freely look at all the location's unused item cards instead of the spaces item deck. When successfully resolving a search action, you may choose to freely look at all of the location's unused item cards. Oh. But hold on, did search change? So it says when you successfully resolve a search action, you may choose to freely look through all of the location's unused item cards instead of the space's item deck. I mean, the implication there is that when you finish a search, you look through the entire deck, which is not true, or at least wasn't true in the base game. I don't think it was true. But the way this reads is that when you do a search, you can look through all of the items that are not in the game for that location, and then choose from those. I don't know if the implications that maybe with station maybe with I don't know if that's a rule that follows her. That's weird. Maybe there's some language changing in how searching works. If there is, that might make the game a little bit more enjoyable, to be honest. If you can search the entire item deck instead of having to roll the dice and then fail. Maybe I do need to open up this box to see if maybe they changed some of the text on the base action cards. But it sounds like a cool ability. I mean, being able to get an item guaranteed that's not in the game, that's pretty nice. Also, and once you're familiar with the location, if you know what items are in the deck, you can search the unused items and then know what's in the game. That's nice. One of my main complaints with some of the scenarios, at least, was that they were very item based. Like this game, you kind of need items to survive and do stuff that gives you the extra leg up. But it's so difficult to get items. In order to get an item, just to clarify, you need to purchase the item, purchase a search card, and then you need to play the search card, and then risk losing time for it. And then once you do play the card, then the card goes in cooldown for a whole turn. So if we're assuming that when you buy the card it costs one time, when you play the card it costs one time, which is a generic way to kind of count actions as a thing, playing a card costs one time, or playing a card is equal to one time, I should say, just to give it a value, you're basically spending 2 times for the chance. Actually, no, I lied, because search costs 2 times. So you're spending 3 times for the chance to find a card, and you don't have a guarantee. So maybe there's some text to change on it. I don't know. That'll be nice. Moving on, Jeanette. You are considered to have additional inventory space, hands, for the purposes of holding and using item cards. Place 2 tracking markers on this card. When using an item with limited uses, you may use one of these markers instead. Ooh. Okay, so she can hold 3 items, so she can triple wield stuff. And then also she has 2 bonus markers, which is nice. So she has like I'm trying to think of an item, like I can't think of an item off the top of my head. As soon as I started thinking about it, I can't think of it. There's an item, I think odds and ends from Maple Lane. She's using odds and ends. Odds and ends I think has 3 uses. And the way odds and ends works is essentially when you walk into a space, you can drop an odds and end, and if the killer walks through it, then their movement ends and they take 2 damage or something like that. And that has 3 charges, if I'm not mistaken. So she would have 5 of those instead of 3, or potentially 5 of those. So that's nice. I mean, this ability is not maybe not as cool. That top ability is pretty nice though. Being able to hold 3 items, especially if you're going against Poltergeist, because if you find Carolyn or Mr. Floppy early, then you still have space for 1 more item, and you can be a little bit less defenseless. So, this is fair. I mean, so far these abilities are heads and shoulders better than the Season 1 abilities, as one would expect. And now we're going to the final one, the one I was most excited about, which is the Once Upon a Full Moon. Oh, sorry, just getting a view of all my room here. All right. There we go. So this one is Final Girl, Once Upon a Full Moon. We'll start how we always have started. Big Bad Wolf. Like I said, I'm most excited about this one because I like the premise, like fighting against a Big Bad Wolf, and I think the other one is oh no, it's just Big Bad Wolf. Fighting against a Big Bad Wolf, that's pretty cool. This seems like it's gonna be fun. I just want to see how it plays out. It's gonna panic adjacent victims. That's gonna be annoying. Panic adjacent victims. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 10 track. The Big Bad Wolf. Oh hey, he seems pretty simple relative to some of the other ones we saw. So it looks like the Big Bad Wolf and Ratchet Lady might be the simpler ones. So Ratchet Lady is probably the Hans equivalent, and the Big Bad Wolf is probably I don't know who else is simple in the base game. Season 1, I mean. I guess maybe equivalent to Inkenyamba. I guess Inkenyamba's not that simple. Anyway, looks pretty cool though. Like looks pretty baller. All right,
So we got the tarot cards here. And there we go. We got Red and Gretel. There's the wolf. Art looking pretty nice. Like, it just looks like this is pretty cool. Like, the art is pretty cool in this game, though. I'm telling you. Like, it's some of the art I like more than others, for sure. But the art is pretty nice. It's one of the selling points for some. For me, it's not a selling point. It's just a nice additional thing to have. Nothing else to see here. Now we move on to the location storybook woods. Ooh, I like this. This looks really cool. Like, this is like a nice looking map. Has like a little green area over here, and then the desolate area, and then like the autumn area or something. Only one exit location though. I don't know how I feel about. Oh no, it's two. Okay, oof. All right. I was gonna say I don't know how I feel about maps with only one escape location for victims. Like, that seems a little rude. Especially considering that this is a dead end. I mean, there's like a door here. What does that mean? It's like a door on all these ones here. Maybe it's like you can build a bridge. Maybe that's what's going on. Let's see. It's the storybook woods and the raft. One of the items you may find is a raft. When you find the raft, you will need to choose 4 spaces where the raft can go ashore. The spaces are clearly marked on the board. You must place the raft tokens such that they are touching the board or both the river and one non-exit space with the raft. You'll be able to move to and from these spaces along the river. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you can make temporary bridges. Okay. That's pretty straightforward. So Storybook Woods has fewer spaces than most locations. Be careful. Alright, yeah, this one's like the simplest location-wise. Like, it only has a few rules with the raft and stuff. Alright. Let's see. Tarot cards. And like I said, I know some people want to see what all the cards might say, or some people might want to see those. I'm purposely not showing those because I want to keep it a secret for myself. So if you want to see what the cards do, my apologies, it's not that video. But I can do another video if y'all request. I can do another video later on to where I just kind of go through all the killers and stuff. I definitely want to play Storybook Woods at least once. I don't know when, but one day. It's like I said, it's the one I was kind of most interested in. Because like the aesthetics and the premise were really cool. Okay, Storybook Woods. That's the last one. Oh, I am missing a final girl. Sorry, I forgot to put, I forgot her name. It's not Heather. Patsy. Gonna put Patsy out. What does Patsy do? Once per action phase, oh yeah, we were at that already. Okay. Yeah, we were at that already. And we got Gretel and Red. So Gretel, you may convert a 2 to a star by discarding 3 action cards. Ew. Oh, that's an awful ability. That's a terrible ability. 3 action cards? Alright, so once again, going back to what we were talking about before, if we consider one action card, playing one action card, discarding one action card equal to 1 time, for instance, 3 is a lot. Now granted, if you have a bunch of zeros in your hand, like especially short rest or weak attack, and you're not going to use those anyway, it might be nice to throw away 2 of those to make, I mean, I don't know, see, 3 is a lot. Like if this said 2 instead, it basically makes 2s, 3s, and 4s. Yeah, 2s, 3s, and 4s into partial successes, and that would be nice. But the fact that so you have full successes, which is a star, which is a 5 or a 6, and then a 3 and 4 is a partial success, which means you can discard 2 cards to make that a full success. And now you have a worse option, which is if you roll a 2, you can discard 3 cards to make it a full success. So you have like a quarter success, not even partial. It's like a quarter of a success. That is an awful ability. I feel like objectively, this is the worst ability amongst the crowd. One, given my understanding of how the resources go and how they flow and what cards you can play, this one definitely awful. Unfortunately. I mean, I was going to see like if these were really good. I mean, I guess these are pretty good. I mean, getting 2 time, reducing the horror level by 2, moving 2 spaces, that's pretty nice. Getting a long rest. I mean, so I guess these are objectively good, but still, that ability is garbage. Having the option is nice, don't get me wrong, but
Oof. Man, that's bad. Red. Once per action phase, if an enemy is within 2 spaces of you, you may move 1 space for free. I like that better. So that's like a better ability of Rico's ability, which I was talking about before. Which I'll get all the other final girls out since I guess we're here. I'm not going to open these. I'm just going to keep these in the little packages like I do for everybody else. But let me get the other final girls out, and then we'll take a peek at them. Go. Lori, that was her name. Oh. Okay, sure, let's put this aside. And we have Lori. So the abilities from season 1 were objectively bad. Barbara's ability, which Barbara came from Sacred. Actually, let me get these in order first. So Lori and Rico were from Camp Happy Trails. Poltergeist was Alice and Selena. Carnival of Blood was Asami, that's her name. Asami and Charlie. And then Sacred Groves was Adelaide and Barbara. And then Maple Lane was Sheila and Nancy. And then finally Melanie was the Birds. So these are the abilities of this current season, season 2. And these are the equivalent ability, or not, I wouldn't say equivalent, but just the rest of the abilities of everybody else. Just in no specific order. And the only good ability, in my opinion, of season 1 was Lori's ability. And that's kind of a giveaway because she's in the base game, or sorry, she's in the easier expansion. And everybody else's ability was kind of objectively awful. Like it's kind of almost not worth getting their ability sometimes because like your ability is just not good. Adelaide was nice the first time you got it, but it's a one and done situation, which is really frustrating. Barbara's is cool to like kind of kite enemies, but you end up losing victims and increasing the bloodlust. Oh, sorry, it does not increase blood, sorry. But you end up losing victims, so I guess it's good if you can have it. Like if you start the game with Barbara's ability, so her ability, let me just read it. Victims will move into killer spaces with you. When you damage an enemy in your space, you may deal an additional damage for each victim present. For each additional damage you do, a victim is killed. Do not increase bloodlust for victims in this way. So you can only have 2 victims with you at a time. So unless the killer's in a spot with victims that did not panic away already, then it's kind of, you kind of lose 2 victims. You clear out 2 victims from it, and then you get to do 2 extra damage. The problem is you need to rescue 5 people first. And then by the time you rescue 5 people, there's going to be a lot of dead people already. So there's not going to be many victims left for you to take advantage of that ability. So if you started the game with this ability, this would be objectively good, but you don't. That's the problem. And I think a lot of the season 1 stuff was like very like pigeonholed. The reason why Laurie's ability is really nice is because a lot of times you want to rescue all the victims first, or at least clear the board so the killer doesn't get too strong too fast. And then as you go along, you want to fight the killer, and she deals 1 extra damage when she's in a space with the killer. So she's using melee weapons especially, is pretty nice, and that means you want to have an item, or the critical blow or anything like that. So this is objectively the best ability in my opinion of season 1. One can make an argument for Melanie. I kind of don't like Melanie's ability that much, but essentially once per action phase, she can lose 1 health to deal 2 damage divided as she wants amongst her enemies. And that's a nice ability because then you can, if you have enough health, I mean she has 5 health. So if you have max health, you can deal, yeah, if she has max 5 health, she can deal 8 damage in 1 go and still be alive. And also another rule in Final Girl is that if you, as a Final Girl, take out the victim or take out the killer at the same time the killer takes you out, you win. So she can also, if you have full health, you can deal 10 damage to the killer and take him out. Assuming they don't come back, then you'll make it. So one can make an argument for Melanie's ability being good, but Asami's ability is extremely specific. It says whenever you draw at least 1 item card, draw an extra item card and choose 1. I mean, I guess that's fine, but you only search, like once you find the items that you want to take out the killer, then that's pretty much it. she might be objectively okay for finding the Poltergeist one. And then you're immune to trap cards, which is a pretty much wasted ability. Then Charlie says, during the action phase, you may lose 3 health to take the critical blow action card directly into your hand. I mean, she has 7 health. She's a tank, but still, it's just kind of not good. Shield's ability is what I was talking about before. It's nice to have because you can buy a lot of cards and have a nice card economy. But because your hand limit is 10, and because cards go on cooldown, the timing of that sometimes can be really bad. Trading a 0 card for 2 time though is nice. But if you assume that when you play a card, either you play it or discard it, it costs 1 time. Just on an objective, like, you know, what's what I'm looking for? Value benefit? That's not the word I'm looking for. Value proposition. Just on a generic value proposition situation, when you discard a card, it's 1 time effectively. Assuming you look at it that way. You're essentially giving up 1 time to get 1 time. And sorry, giving up 1 time to get 2 time, which is like a net gain of 1. So I mean, I guess it's nice, but a lot of times you need more than just 2 time to do a thing. And then losing a card is sometimes worse than that. I don't know. As I was saying before, these abilities are objectively worse for Season 1. Season 2, these abilities are phenomenal. The only one that I was a little bit disappointed at was Gretel. And to be honest, I would argue that Gretel's ability is probably worse than Season 1's ability. Actually, no, I take it back. I lied. No, Gretel's ability is actually better than Season 1's ability because at least it does something. It's continuously useful. Like, Barbara's ability is useful if you have victims left. If you don't, it's useless. Literally useless if you don't have any victims left. Nancy's ability is each time you lose normal health, you may reveal a black final health token from the general pool and swap it with your final health token stash. If you do not remove it from the game, you cannot do this with your final white health token. I mean, that could be good if you have health, but she only has 4 health. I mean, a lot of killers will be dealing 4 health by the time they get to like level 3 or level 4. Let's see if that's true. Let me validate first because I'm making claims. I gotta back them up. So, Dr. Fright will be dealing 4 damage and 1 strike when he's at max level. So I guess that's not true for him. Inkinyamba. Also keep in mind, I'm not counting the times that killers will attack multiple times. Inkinyamba will never deal 4 damage and 1 strike, but he'll likely be dealing bonus damage because of his Killer's Wrath, which Killer's Wrath gives him the ability to heal and then also strike multiple times. So that could potentially mean that he can do more than 4 damage in 1 strike. Carnival Blood. And part of me going through all this is just to kind of push my argument, just kind of support the statement I'm making. Geppetto can only deal 2 damage, but his minions all deal 1, and he has 3 minions. So if his minions gang up on you, they can deal 5 damage pretty easily in 1 strike. So that means that pretty much at any level, once all of the minions are out, Geppetto can possibly take out Nancy in 1 strike. I think objectively Nancy is one of the more powerful characters, but it's really hard to use her because you really got to manage her health. Poltergeist, I guess since we're here, I'm just gonna flash out 1. She can deal 4 damage at level 7. So when she's on Killer's Wrath level 7, or what's that called? Bloodlust level 7. And then finally Hans. I know Hans can deal more than 4 damage in 1 strike. I just don't know when. So at level 7 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Nope. Whoop. Math is hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At level 8, he'll be able to do it. So, objectively speaking, it's very difficult to kind of walk around 4 health. So having 4 health as your maximum health, I feel like it's risky. So that means that people like Nancy, Alice, and Ellen are probably harder to play. And I don't want this to morph into an analysis on all the Final Girls and everything, because I haven't played with every single Final Girl, although I've played with most of them, at least from Season 1, and Season 2 is new to me. So I don't know what rules changes and things happen over there. But my point being, I feel like these Final Girls are to the point to where they are now another factor of modularity in the game. Season 1 Final Girls, they've always felt like the same. It's to the point to where, you know, I said before at the top of the video, locations and killers are what differentiate the game. The Final Girl, yeah, they had different abilities when you rescue people, and that can kind of change things up a little bit. But even then, it's like that's still not enough to like kind of objectively say that the Final Girl has that much of an impact on the game. I mean, one can make the argument, but it's kind of it's so temporary, you know? It's so situational. And all of them, all the Final Girls have some things that they give you, some benefits that they give you when they rescue people. So it's kind of hard to say that. But season 2, the powers at least, the powers for the Final Girls in season 2 seem pretty on point. Even Gretel's ability, which I was kind of shaming earlier, even Gretel's ability sounds pretty good compared to season 1's ability. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I don't have much else to go through. We've done the unboxing. I've opened up everything. I'm gonna go ahead and I lied. We gotta open up the last box, which this is just the other core box. I said I wasn't gonna open it, but I'm gonna open it just in case there's something different. Looks like there's nothing different. Absolutely nothing different. The back of the box looks the same too. So I'm probably just ruining the sale value of this game, the resale value. I did want 2 core boxes though, so I can like maybe have 2 games going at once, or maybe do some like multiplayer thing, or take advantage of the resources. I don't know. So this is a Faber 60-minute music collection. I wonder if that's a DRM free. I don't know. If it's DRM free, that'd be nice. Rulebook, let's see. So we were, or I was wondering if search was different. So I don't know what the rulebook will say. The rulebook looks pretty much the same. They might have fixed some spelling issues. I know. I mean, any rulebook, anytime you have more than 4,000 words in a thing, there's gonna be some spelling issues or grammar issues. I don't know if people pointed those out in the past. Also, side note, I had owned Final Girl for at least 2 months before I realized there was a second side to this board. I just want to point out, like, when I learned about this, I was shocked. I was shocked, I tell you, actually shocked. Standard tokens, everything else. We want the cards down here. Oh, I got more dice. I guess that's a bonus. So I was trying to see if the search was different, but I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not. So it says, take the top 2 item cards from your space and choose one. Place the other on top or underneath face down. Yeah, it's all bog standard. It's all the same. So maybe, I don't know. It's like, in that case, it sounds like what was her name? Was it Ava? I don't know if it was Ava who had that ability. It sounds like no. Who was the search thing? It was Ginny? Ellen? Yeah, Ellen. So it sounds like Ellen's ability is just really, like, for no reason, just really good. I don't know if that's a typo. I don't know if it's like needs some clarification or something. I will check the forums to figure out later, but that's a future me problem. For now, though, we are going to go ahead and close this video since we have gone over an hour, just me talking about Final Girl and open up stuff. To be fair, I did spend the first 10 minutes talking about just kind of my background in the game, like what I feel about the game, my opinions and everything, so people can get an idea of how I feel about the game. And then we open up everything together. Not really much else to kind of stare at. I mean, there's been many people who've done unboxings, probably more reputable than myself, or at least more popular at least than myself. Reputable is, I wouldn't say more reputable. I think I'm pretty reputable. But at any rate, yeah, this has been fun. I'm a little bit more excited than I thought I was going to be to actually play Final Girl Season 2. I really want to at least play with some of the Final Girls from Season 2 on Season 1 stuff. Just to see if that helps change the game a little bit, because I always felt that the powers from the Final Girls were underwhelming. Maybe that's why I had some of my complaints about I don't think there's enough mitigation of chaos, or there's too much chaos flying around. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's where that whole thing comes from. It's not entirely clear for me. But at any rate, I have my second scenario book. I got my second core box. I got all my stuff opened up, and it's gonna look really cool on my bookshelf. Let me tell you. All right. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, I will see y'all whenever.